Hey everybody, how's it going today? I hope you guys enjoyed the time-lapse drawing here at the beginning of the video. And today's drawing actually has an interesting theme. I decided to focus on forest fires. So within this drawing you can see we have a succession of different tree life stages, I suppose, where you have the mature and healthy trees, and then it kind of goes down to an area that was obviously burned. It's kind of an odd thing to be, I guess, inspired by. Typically forest fires have a very negative side to them, as they can be very destructive, and within the last several years with the changes of our climate, they have been getting larger and larger and have been very destructive to personal property. But there is a, I guess, positive side to forest fires, and the thing is that it is completely natural for many types of forests to burn, specifically forest types like the boreal forest and the coastal forests. They are actually supposed to burn. That's the way that forests reproduce, and specifically there's a select number of trees such as lodgepole pines and jack pines, which have pine cones that are essentially completely closed in, and the way to get the seeds out is only through heat. So they're naturally designed to reproduce through a forest fire event. And truthfully, the average forest fire number in Ontario is about 800 a year. And I mean, last year was a pretty busy forest fire season. It was much more than 800. But the year previous, 2020, was actually quite low. It was around 600, I believe. So it all really depends on the weather conditions in the States. Last summer was definitely super dry, so there was definitely a lot more fires, and there were some really large ones, especially in northwestern Ontario. Actually, as I was drawing this, I was reminded of an adventure that I did back when I lived in Alberta in the Rocky Mountains, and I decided to go and climb up a mountain, and it was just kind of like point and shoot kind of thing. I just kind of saw, a high point, and I just basically started hiking up to that area. I don't really remember how I got up there. I think it was a lot of bushwhacking, and then eventually there was a little bit of scrambling on the shale rock once I got above the tree line. If I have any pictures of it, I'll show you. There's a really nice view of the valley below, and as I was going down, I decided to cut through a section of forest that was burned. Literally, the trees were all charred. A lot of them were still standing. But I can tell you right now, never go through a forest that is burned, that is still standing and dead. It is a very bad idea, because those trees will fall with very little effort. And I definitely, as I was going down the mountain, I definitely touched a few of them, and some of them did indeed tip over and start falling. So we like to call those widowmakers. Any dead tree, for that matter, even if it's dead by disease. If you see a dead tree around, just try to avoid it, because they are very unstable and they can fall without much effort. But yeah, if I have pictures or videos of that, I'll show you, but luckily I made it out alive. But it was just something I remembered as I was drawing, and yeah, definitely, if you see charred black trees that are dead, just don't go there. Not a fun place to be. But anyways, that is all for today. just something nice and short. I'll see you guys later.